Fire Force Season 3 Episode 2, titled Prisoner, was released on Friday, April 11, 2025. The episode primarily focused on Shinra Kusakabe and others from the 8th embarking on a mission to save their captain, Akitaru Obi, from being turned into an infernal. In their quest, they found an ally in Joker, who guided them into darkness, as it was necessary to hide from the law. Fire Force Season 3 Episode 2 finally saw Joker and Shinra's team up. On the other hand, the episode introduced Gold, one of the destroyers. Fire Force Season 3 Episode 2 begins with Shinra Kusakabe confronting Captain Leonard Burns through an Adala link. Burns tells him that Akitaru Obi will be implanted with an infernal bug as a reward. Shinra is perplexed to hear Burns's statement. However, before he can ask further questions, his consciousness returns to the present. Meanwhile, Lisa and others ask Hinawa how to go about their mode of operation. Hinawa says the Imperial Army will be at their headquarters soon. Therefore, they must escape immediately and seek a new base somewhere. Licht informs Hinawa that he knows the exact spot for that. At this moment, Shinra tells everyone about his latest vision and the fate that awaits Akitaru Obi. Following that, the narrative for Fire Force Season 3 Episode 2 delves into a flashback and shows a conversation between Akitaru Obi and Hinawa from when Company 8 was founded. While cleaning the windows of the newly founded HQ, Akitaru Obi asks Hinawa about his family and whether he has any love interest. Hinawa mentions that his father raised him alone, but passed away a year ago from illness. As for a love interest, he has none because he doesn't know when he might die. Akitaru then asks Hinawa whether he truly wants to be in the 8th. Hinawa thinks people like him, who have no one, are perfect for the 8th. Since the company was founded to track other units' operations, it's bound to attract enemies. That's why he thinks he is suitable. However, Akitaru reminds his right-hand man that the Company 8 will likely be labeled a group of rebels. That's why they need troops who value their own lives and others. Hinawa casually mentions how Akitaru will become the company's father. Fire Force Season 3 Episode 2 reveals how Hinawa and Akitaru built the core value of Company 8, which revolves around saving humanity. Following the flashback sequence, the narrative for Fire Force Season 3 Episode 2 returns to the present and focuses on Shinra and Hinawa before they leave the HQ with others for the time being. Meanwhile, Akitaru Obi is seen doing push-ups in the prison cell to maintain his physique. The guards cannot comprehend why the captain must do that. Yet, it's the sign that Akitaru remains undaunted by the situation. The Company 8 captain is confident that Hinawa and others will come to his rescue. Meanwhile, the news of Akitaru Obi's arrest goes live on national television. The reporters mention that Obi has been arrested for keeping Shinra Kusakabe, the possessor of Adala Burst, i.e., Holy Flames, captive. The report further issues a search warrant for the other members who have gone missing. Undoubtedly, the Empire wants to spread the false narrative to instigate the common folks against Company 8 and brand them as traitors. The Empire's actions have put Hibana and others, who formed a partnership with Company 8, in a fix. Likewise, Benimaru looks lost in thought in Asakusa. He asks Conro whether he has heard anything from the 8th. Conro says he hasn't. He speculates that the 8th must be trying to keep the heat from spreading to Asakura, which is why they don't want to involve them. At any rate, Benimaru's fear has come true. The Empire has turned into a crossfire of enemies. The narrative for Fire Force Season 3 Episode 2 shifts the focus to Shinra and others trying their best to avoid the military. Meanwhile, Licht leads them to a reasonably quiet area, and mentions that even though the 8th might be pros at laying the souls to rest and putting out fires, they are amateurs when it comes to escaping from the law. Vulcan wonders what's up with Licht's attitude. At this moment in Fire Force Season 3 Episode 2, Licht reveals that he's neither on Company 8 nor on Hijima's side. Rather, he's an outlaw, just like a certain someone. As he says this, Joker emerges from the shadows. Licht finally reveals that he's a dark hero along with Joker, who fights the spontaneous human combustion from the shadows unlike the 8th, who does the same on the surface. Joker then asks everyone to tag along with him if they don't want to be caught. He leads Shinra and others to a dark region and asks them to follow him underground. Joker tells everyone that since they are now branded as traitors, they have no other option but to walk in the darkness with him. Fire Force Season 3 Episode 2 shows Joker leading the party to his base. After settling into Joker and Licht's castle, Hinawa begins to formulate a plan to save Akataru Obi. He thinks they must gather as much information about the Empire as possible. Interestingly, Joker has already determined Obi's whereabouts, which is the Fuchu prison, the home to Tokyo Empire's most violent criminals. Elsewhere, Leonard Burns has fully embraced being a follower of the evangelist. Haumea is impressed that Burns has accepted their vision. She mentions that she would have brainwashed him if he didn't comply with their wishes. However, Burns tells Haumea how his doubt was turned into faith once he confronted the god and the evangelist through a Dala link. Through her mind-reading ability, Haumea finds out that Burns's feelings are genuine. On the other side, Shinra and Joker head for the Fuchu prison before others to launch a surprise attack. Shinra wants to prevent his captain from being turned into an infernal. Meanwhile, at the Fuchu prison, Akataru Obi meets Gold, one of the destroyers responsible for Haig's death. Gold's manner of speech remains abstruse, but she has come with a vial containing an infernal insect. Gold plans to free Obi soon, but laments that he will be an infernal. Elsewhere, Hinawa and others begin their operation. According to Fire Force Season 3 Episode 2, the 8th plans on boarding a nether-specific vehicle to reach the Fuchu prison. Hinawa asks Licht whether Joker is trustworthy. Licht tells him that if he can trust him, then he should be able to trust Joker too. Moreover, Vulcan has prepared proper equipment for everyone, excluding Arthur, who only has a sword. Yet, Arthur's delusions are enough to turn his sword into a legendary Excalibur. Following that, the narrative for Fire Force Season 3 Episode 2 shifts the focus to Joker and Shinra. The Adala Burst Possessor can't believe that he has teamed up with Joker. He asks Joker why he's helping Akataru Obi. Interestingly, Joker explains that Obi is the light that the Empire needs. Having spent a long time in the darkness, Joker knows the light truly well. In fact, Akataru is not the only light that will guide the Empire, it includes Shinra as well. He mentions that they will, in all likelihood, encounter the destroyers and many formidable opponents on the other side. However, Joker intends to protect Shinra. After reaching the location, Shinra and Joker begin their operation to rescue Akataru Obi. Meanwhile, the white-clad members tie Akataru with chains as they intend to implant him with a bug. Fire Force Season 3 Episode 2 ends with Shinra determined to save Obi. Fire Force Season 3 Episode 2 has nicely set up Shinra and his friends' operation to rescue Akataru Obi from the Empire's clutches. Now that they have decided to work alongside Joker, the narrative will only get interesting from here. And that was Fire Force Season 3 Episode 3, packed with intense action, emotional twists, and even more mystery building up. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button and let me know in the comments what your favorite moment from this episode was. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And hey, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe for more epic anime breakdowns, reviews, and theories, from Fire Force to Solo Leveling, Jujutsu Kaisen, and much more.